Hello friends, welcome to another Star Wars Unlimited video, and today is going to be a pretty fun one. There have been a lot of tournament reports and results for PQs for this week, for last week. There's still a few that are happening today that we don't have all of the information for yet, and also there's actually, if you've seen some other people's videos from the past week, a lot of the lists from the tournament results weren't available to us yet, but now more of them have been made available to us, so we're checking them out today. Today's video is going to be basically a bunch of cool lists that are in the top 8 of PQs, and keep in mind, some of these PQs, they're a little bit smaller level with like 42 players, but some of them, it's like 120 players, so any of these lists can fall in a range from 40 players to 120 players, but know that either way, these lists were in the top 8, and some of them will also show you what their placement is as we go through them. But anyways, I wanted to show you, if you don't know about the website, Star Wars Unlimited Competitive Hub, SWU-Competitive Hub.com. They have lots of cool information here where people report their tournament results and post lists and stuff. So let's get into it, shall we? All right. This first list is a yellow Iden list. You might have seen this from somebody else's video earlier this week, but I just wanted to point it out because I think it's really cool that they are using enticing rewards. I was really high on this card when it first got spoiled clear back in Shadows of the Galaxy, yep, that's correct. And man, because it's basically like a search 2 cards, which is so cool. And Fine Edition can allow you to get it back or top target back if you want, or if you're playing Perilous Position, you can get that back as well. But it seems that in this list, they do not play Perilous Position. But it's just a solid control list. The only thing I find odd is that they have a restock in the main deck, but only 2 vigilance in the main deck, but also a bounty hunter crew. I don't know. But I mean, I've been playing Blue Iden a lot lately. I played in a cool special tournament to win some graded convention exclusives yesterday, and I lost in the semifinals, and I was playing Blue Iden. I had to play 2 double blue villainy mirror matches yesterday. It was crazy, but anyways, let's keep talking about these lists. So yeah, I just want to show you this one. Pretty neat. And Dr. Pershing is the king. Oh my gosh, that's another thing that I feel really good about, is I was really high on Dr. Pershing a long time ago, and it seems like more and more he's making his way into lists, and people are really finding the power of Dr. Pershing. For example, yesterday, I had a match against a Anakin Blue, and I think in game 2, they opened up with an ARC 170 in space. I opened up with Dr. Pershing, and Dr. Pershing into a Power of the Dark Side into a Lieutenant Childson, and that Dr. Pershing at least drew me 5 cards. It's so crazy. But anyways, we have so many lists to go through. All right, let's see. We're going to test out this new scene I got here. Maybe this will show it a little bit better. There we go. Cool. Here is a blue Anakin list. They've got some crate dragons in there. They got 1 bravado. There's a Stila Guerrera in here, which I think is pretty cool. Pillage is also a tactic, so you can search that off of Stila. I also appreciate the R2-D2 C3PO package here, because with Anakin's leader ability allowing you to punch up, basically they're kind of like 3/4s in an Anakin deck. So and the Regional Governor too. Regional Governor can do the same thing too. All solid turn 1 plays that can likely kill your opponent's turn 1 play and stay alive, or they have to Tarkin Town it, which is also cool because then you traded your turn 1 play for your opponent's turn 1 play and their base effect, which essentially means they have permanently -5 HP for the rest of the game. Yeah, this looks pretty standard here, I think. The only thing you'll notice that I think maybe people aren't used to is there's no Jedi lightsabers here, not even in the side, but that's fine. They're playing 1 bravado in main, 1 side. I thought it just looked pretty cool. So yeah. Next, we've got a Quinlan blue list. So cool here. And yeah, it's got the 2 drops. It's got the Cloud Rider to trade in turn 1 if you need to. It's got 3 Jedi lightsabers and a couple surprise strikes here. Nothing like absolutely blowing your mind here, but you know, the Forces with me is cool. You can possibly even use Forces with me on Quinlan. So flip Quinlan, use Forces with me. Now he's suddenly a 5/9 with a shield. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, you get to play the good 7 drops and a triple Plo Koon. The side's a little interesting. There's a Baze Malbus and a hidden sharpshooter. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cute list. I'm stoked that they did well. Millennium Falcon makes its way in here as well, of course. Quinlan seems to be enjoying those. Yeah, pretty cool list. All right, next is a Kylo Tarkentown list. As you can see, this deck list was made by Wu, but this is one of Wu's Patreon members that took this list and piloted it to the finals of a PQ. The finals of a PQ. It is such a cool list. 1,000,000 1-drops in here. Literally, what is that? 21 1-drops? Is that right? No, yeah, 21 1-drops, and then Daring Raid, Force Choke, Partisan Insurgent, Bo-Katan, Armed to the Teeth, allowing to itself to be a couple more upgrades for Kylo possibly, and then you've got Chaos of War, Daring Raid, you've got the OOM Series Officer for Reach as well, a lot of Reach, and then they've got Ruthless Raiders on the side. I'm sure that it's probably for control decks, especially one maybe Overwhelming Barrage control decks that'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, kill 4 of your ships with Overwhelming Barrage. So yeah, it's so cool. I'm excited to maybe even try this out myself or just even see this around. It's so crazy. Very cool. All right, next we've got, I think, actually a couple Tarkentown Fennec lists, and I'm really stoked about these ones. So I don't know. I've been wanting to play Red Fennec for a long time, and I've just been procrastinating, and I think it's the time for me. I might be trying it out. And yeah, it's cool. It got a solid Rebel package in this one. So the main difference is this one, it has a lot of Rebels, but not really so much of the Rebel package, whereas this one has a full Fleet Lieutenant and a full Wing Leader package here. Most of them have a lot of the same cards. This one has a couple Cartel Turncoats and a couple R2-D2s and some Bamboozles, whereas the other one has Heroic Sacrifices and the Soldier of the 501st. 501st? Is that how you say that? 501st. And this one I edited a little bit, so you'll notice I got the text in here at the top that says modded 1.0, and it also says that it's by Travidead, me. So the only change that I made in here is their main deck had, instead of a Fleet Lieutenant here, it had 1 less Red 3 and 1 less Fleet Lieutenant, and instead it had 2 Valiant assault ships down here. Like I said, I have not tested this deck yet out. I have not tested this deck out yet. This person got to top 4 with the 2 Valiant assault ships in it and only 2 Red 3s and no Fleet Lieutenants. And for me, I just adjusted it slightly for what I'm going to try out, because one thing that I really valued when I would play ECL Sabine is, especially in the mirror match or against other aggro decks, being able to use Energy Conversion Lab to bring out Fleet Lieutenant to essentially double attack. And sometimes in the mirror, you're able to make that so you have 2 of your units that both favorably trade into 2 of your opponent's units. So they're down 2 units, you have 2 units, and you're in the aggro mirror. It's super insane. And I just had the idea, I was like, you know what? Fennec can give the Fleet Lieutenant ambush whenever she wants. So, and there's enough rebels in here. Partisan Insurgent is a rebel as well up here. And we've got the new Jyn Urso unit. I just wanted to try it out. So that's the main difference there. This deck looks super sick. I love it. All right, next we have a yellow Emperor Palpatine winner. This person won a PQ. Super cool list here. Looks pretty similar to a lot of yellow Emperor lists that I've seen and ones that I have played personally. And the only things to note that I'm seeing here is no Traitorous, which is totally fine. But I love Poggle so much. I'm so stoked they're on Poggle. Also, I see only 2 Royal Guard here, which I've done that as well before too. Totally fine. I understand it. I've definitely learned my lesson that like the triple waylay and at least 2 no to good to me dead is definitely feels mandatory in this. I like the 2 Frozen and Carbonite here as well. And then they've got the Droid Commando, since they're going to be making even some battle droids that might stick around. The Droid Commando getting some ambush, also possibly the double ambush off of Vader. Pretty cool. And then you see they've got the Relentless Palpatine's Return package in the side for the hard control. It looks awesome. And they've got the scanning officers in the side for Han. When they bring out the tech and then you just time lock them with a scanning officer. Pretty sick. I mean, hey, look, what am I talking about? They've got the Traitoresses in the side there. Super sick. Yeah, this list looks awesome. Super strong. Next, we've got a 3rd place Tarkin Town CAD Bane. Nothing looking wildly different here, but it's cool stuff. I enjoy the Bazines in the main, of course. I love the now there are 2 of them. I think some CAD Banes aren't playing the now there are 2 of them, but I know if I was playing CAD Bane, I would be having now there are 2 of them in, because the high roll of being able to turn 1 Crafty Smuggler, turn 2 a Zuckuss out, turn 3 a 4-Lom comes out with 5 power. Yeah, like I don't know if any deck can actually beat that. Those first 3 turns, it's so crazy. So super sick. You see they've got an outmaneuver in the side. That's a little interesting and new. Not a lot of people try that card out. Yeah, looks pretty solid. This one is so cool. So you guys might have heard about this one last week. It's a yellow Hondo list, but we've got the list now. This one was in the top 8. I think it was actually even in the top 4 possibly. And yeah, it's got Hondo cards Hondo would use. I cannot imagine that any of us random gamers could possibly just pick this deck up and do as well as this person did with it. I'm sure there's lots of lines that you'd have to go through, figure out the way you're navigating your first several turns, but it's super cool. Being able to play Hot Shot Blaster as kind of like a +3/+1 on a unit is super crazy. You can, play a Phase 3 Dark Trooper, and then you can play a Hot Shot Blaster on it the next turn, have it attack into something for 6 power, and it would have 4 HP, and then if it kills the thing, because the Dark Trooper takes damage, then it gives itself another experience token, then it becomes a 7 whatever. It's super huge. It's pretty cool stuff in here, and the tech is cute. Yeah, put a tech in a Hondo deck. I'm not gonna question that. Seems good to me. Overwhelming Barrage is insane, of course. The only thing I would probably do in this deck, I guess they've got another tech in the side. Maybe this does just fine into hard control, but I would like to see some Palpatine's returns in the side to increase the chances of keeping those Relentlesses online. Because spoiler alert, that is what I lost to with my double blue Iden yesterday in top 4. In game 2, my friend was able to get the Relentlesses out, and I killed one, and then I killed the other, but it was a little bit too late. And then in the last one, he triple super laser teched into a Relentless, and then into another Relentless after I killed that one. So, Relentless, it ends the hard control. It seriously does. So I would put some Palps returns in there. Next, we've got a really cool ECL Anakin deck. Now, for me, that's a little bit scary, though I do see they've got triple Sundari Peacekeepers in here. They've got Admiral Yularen in here, and they've got Home 1 in here as some potential healing. They've got some Reinforcement Walkers in the side that can potentially heal them too. But man, playing a 25 HP base as Anakin Skywalker seems so scary to me. But you get to play the General's Blade, which is sick. It lets you cheat some units out. I see they don't have the frontline shuttle to double cheat, but that's totally fine. And yeah, it looks pretty solid. The Guerrilla Attack Pod makes its appearance again from set 1. that's pretty cute. Yeah, and just one home one crate dragon in here. And of course, it's got the triple wrecker in here. However, it's a little questionable, a little hard to navigate because you'd want to make sure you deploy Anakin before you use your wrecker, unless you absolutely had to do a 2-for-1 with wrecker, and then you don't get to deploy Anakin till the next turn because of wrecker destroying a resource, which a little unfortunate, but yeah, the pretty cool deck. 2 bravados in here. You could put a general's blade on Anakin, attack. The next unit you play costs 2 less. Use bravado, attack again, then it costs 4 less. And that's pretty cool. There's some cool combos in here. This seems like a pretty cool deck. All right, some of these are gonna cut off now because some of the sizes are a little bit different. So we'll switch over to this scene. It's Han 2 Blue. It's back again. Finally, it's been gone for so long. I think mostly there's so many cool things to try. I think that a lot of people have just been maybe not even necessarily afraid, but just they've been trying other stuff, and maybe the rise in Tarkin Town just made people obviously afraid to play the red Han Solo because he weakens his own units and then they can just Tarkin Town them. But he's here again, and he's still got 2 pillage in the main, the triple force throw. It has some Jedis in here. Nothing absolutely crazy. The only thing I guess I'm surprised about is only 1 Ki-Adi-Mundi in here. Maybe, I mean, they got top 8s, you know, so what can I say? But I think, yeah, if I was playing this deck, I would be getting at least 1 more Ki-Adi-Mundi in there, just even over the Kanan Jarrus, the 3rd Kanan Jarrus maybe, just because a 5/5 is so crazy. So good. But yeah, it looks awesome. I like the forced surrenders in the side. Pretty cool. Let me make sure you guys can see that over there. Yeah, I gotta switch it over because the size of the stuff is a little different. Yeah, and the thing that's cool too with this deck is you get to play and every blue hero deck gets to play Concord Dawn Interceptors, and then you can it helps shore up the Jango Tarkin Town matchup a little bit. It's always nice being able to put those in there. Next, this is so cool. A blue Mace Windu deck wins a PQ. Straight up wins this PQ here. It's really cool. I love it. They've got Steela in there. So stoked on the Steela Guerrera making it in there. She makes so much sense. The thing with Mace is you want a solid amount of units that have 4 power. It makes so much sense. It's so cool. And I'm sure that, I mean, I don't know how much FFG is in on all of the synergy, but the Steela Guerrera synergy with Mace Windu is so sick because she has 4 power. So if a unit kills her, or if she attacks into a unit that has remaining HP, she puts 4 damage on them. She also searches your deck for tactics, which can search for bombing run, pillage, open fire, daring raid, like literally like all of these good cards for removal that are also good in Mace. She searches for them. She can search for 2 of them, and she puts 4 damage on a unit. And then you can use the Mace effect that says pay 1 and tap and deal 1 damage to a damaged unit. Then if it has 5 or more damage on it, you can deal another damage to it. So because it'll have 4 on it already, and then Mace puts on the 5th, that's the 5, so it goes up to 6. So anything that has 6 HP is going to die to the K2s, it's going to die to the Steelas, it's going to die to the Obi-Wans. It's pretty cool. I'm super stoked about this. And you know, you're never surprised in these like more mid-range or, you know, slightly control hero decks fitting in a tech. Makes sense. They've got 2 Crate Dragons in the main, they got another in the side, and they even have got a Zillo Beast in the side to try to just put those big creatures out on the board. Pretty cool. The double redemption main makes sense to me, especially with Steela doing some damage. The Razor Crest being able to get back the triple top target in the main makes sense, or even the triple perilous position. Very cool. I see Quills in here, and we do have, is it mostly? It looks like slightly mostly blue cards, so Quill has maybe more than a 50-50 It might be pretty close, actually. But still cool. Still really cool. This is a winning deck. So cool. Regional Governor in here. I've heard, some people their brains are getting bigger too, and they're getting a little bit more clever. A lot of people have been playing Regional Governor into the Triple Dark Raid decks, and when it comes to their Triple Dark turn, they play Regional Governor, and they either say Triple Dark Raid, or they say Ruthless Raider, and they just lock out the Ruthless Raider and say, no, we don't want those. We don't want Ruthless Raiders out here. Yeah. Pretty cool deck. All right. We've got another winning deck. This is a blue set 1 Han Solo. Once again, it's the yellow-blue hero combo. It's pretty similar to that Quinlan deck at the beginning, right? So, where is it? It's going to have a lot of the same stuff, the good 7 cost units, but we've got triple Ki-Adi-Mundi, triple Plo Koon. We've got Zori Bliss in here, and this deck also has Now There Are 2 of them in it. Did that Quinlan deck have Now There Are 2? No, not in here. This is one thing that I was super stoked about with yellow blue hero is playing Now There Are 2 of them. I was thinking about it in like a Rey or a Yoda list, but what's cool, you can do it with Han Solo, where you can kind of cheat. So on the 4 resource turn, you can even do Now There Are 2 of them. You don't have to wait till the 5 resource to get one of the big 7s out. Or in this case, it's probably just Luke Skywalker, since there's not very many other Underworld units, except for the Millennium Falcon, which you would have had to tap a resource to keep there. But still, we got the Republic units of Plo Koon and Ki-Adi, and turn 1 Republic, and also with Han's power, we've got some Force and Jedi units to be able to put down turn 1 as well. So you could possibly turn 1 play a Yoda or Ezra, turn 2, Now There Are 2 of them into a Ki-Adi-Mundi or Plo Koon. It's pretty cool stuff. It's a pretty cool deck. The most surprising thing probably in this list is the Tranquilities down there. The Tranquilities, let's see if we can cut this up this way. There you go. You can see the sideboard now a little bit. The Tranquilities in here, which, I mean, it's cool because you're going to be able to get back your Plo Koon or your Ki-Adi. I'm sure it's probably likely to get back your Plo Koon. And yeah, I mean, it's a ship too. It's a pretty sizable ship in space that'll hit for 7. Pretty cool list here. I'm curious about the 1 Wolfpack Escort in the side. I wonder if that's for like, that can't be for Bosk, because it has 1 HP and they could just put the bounty on it instead. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe just for the Django decks. It's still it's a 1 HP, so I don't know. Maybe they do it turn 1. Their opponent doesn't P38 them, and then they can Now There Are 2 of them because it's Republic, and then they can trade it into their Kylo TIE Silencer. I don't know. But yeah, with all these Jedis, they get forces with me as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What is next? Oh yeah, you might have saw it spoiled a little bit because of me clicking around on the browser. The Blue Chancellor. Blue Chancellor has made a top. We've seen it do pretty well, but I think it might have, maybe it topped some showdowns, some like late set 2 showdowns. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They've got Millennium Falcons in here. I don't know if I've necessarily seen that too much in these type of lists. I have seen the Redemptions and the Avengers, Super Laser Blast, CAD Bane, Luke, of course. All that makes sense. Arrival's Fall makes sense. I do like the kind of like 2 of blue removal suite we got here of Power of the Dark Side, Position, Vigilance, Takedown, Fell the Dragon. That all makes sense to me. I don't know. Power of the Dark Side's so insane. I feel like I really do gotta put 3 of it in there though. 2, No Good to Me Dead makes sense to me. Bazine makes sense to me. They got 11 turn 1 plays, which are kind of the standard ones that a lot of people have kind of agreed on for the Blue Chancellor. Makes sense. And they've got some Forlom in here. They fit some Forlom in here. That's cool. And then I see in the side, they've got Restock and some Spark of Rebellions to probably try to stop a mill plan. Though, there are some double blue decks that are playing techs in the main deck with restock, and so they hide the restock and the tech in the resource row, so you can't Bazine them, you can't spark them, and then when the time is right near the end, and they can, and you know they've maybe baited out enough removal, and they can deploy tech safely, then they do the restock from the row. So the Sparker Rebellion Bazine plan is not foolproof, but still super sick, very cool list here. All right, next we've got ECL Sabine. You're like, Travis, I thought you said these were fun, cool lists. There's nothing fun or cool about Energy Conversion Lab Sabine. And to that, I'd say, yeah, you're basically right, yeah. But I just wanted to show it. It was a first place one, and I just wanted to show you just kind of the developments of it currently, what people seem to be on. This list doesn't have the triple Bright Hope that a lot of them have been on. And it also doesn't have the General's Blade that I've seen, but it's got the main deck Sundari Peacekeepers, which I can understand. It's got some main deck Daring Raids, which I presume are to shoot some spaceships down. But, I mean, yeah, looks mostly pretty standard, but just wanted to show you so you know what people are thinking about. Triple Confiscate in the side there. Whoa. Whoa. Maybe they really are just counting on blowing out the mirror match and just counting their opponent putting a Darksaber or a General's Blade on their Sabine or something, and then they can confiscate it. That's got to be what that is, right? All right, here we go. Another PQ winner here. It's another red-blue heroism deck, this time Yoda. So I'm pretty sure we've had an Anakin, we've had a Mace, and we have a Yoda now. PQ winners, red-blue heroism popping off right now. I'll move over here to the side. Wait, actually, can I do this? There we go. Yeah, we got this scene works for us here. You can see everything all at once. A tech in the main, a tech in the side, 2 crates in the main, 1 crate in the side. The Smoke and Cinders in the side is actually pretty valid because, man, when I've been playing my double blue Iden deck, sometimes I can get up to like 7, 8, 9 cards in my hand, especially from playing I Am Your Father and my opponent letting me draw 3 cards. It would be a pretty huge blowout for them to Smoke and Cinders me down to 2 cards. That would be really devastating for any of those hard control decks. Even a Bosk Blue, like trying to draw so many cards from their deck, double claiming death marks, and then suddenly going down to 2 cards in hand. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But it's another deck that has Quill in it, and this one I did check. This is actually a 52 card deck, and it's straight up 50-50 on the Quill draw success. So it's a little bit of some gambling here, but it is pretty cool. One thing, this is one thing I was thinking about too, because man, I really do love Crate Dragon. I just haven't actually placed that card on the table enough to satisfy my soul. And it is really cool that with Yoda and You're My Only Hope, you can play Crate Dragon on 7. That just sounds so sick. I love that thought. We've got the Redemptions to stay alive, the Razor Crests to stay alive. They can also bring back some Perilous Positions. Looks like that is the main target in here, and with no top targets in the side either. So there's no top targets. It's just Perilous Position, Razor Crest just having some restore itself. Triple K2 here in the main with no other discard package, just triple K2. I mean, I kind of get it. I love K2. Good card. Yeah, pretty interesting list. Mace Windu even makes it into the main deck. All right, here we go. We've got another. Was this? Maybe this might have been the ECL Quinlan that we heard about last week. But I think there still has been some other ECL Quinlans getting into the top 8. So I think the ECL Quinlan might have won its event. I can't remember last week, but here we go. Either way, we got some. They're in the top 8. They've got the Sanctioner's Shuttle in the side, which I think is actually a pretty clever card. If you don't know this card, it's a 3-cost 2/3 Republic vehicle transport with coordinate. When played, it can capture a 3-cost unit. And what's really cool about that is it doesn't uncapture it when coordinate goes offline. You just had to have 2 other units on the board when you played it, and then you're gaining even more tempo and just some advantage there by capturing a unit. It's kind of neat. So I'm sure it's probably for the aggro matchups where your opponent just keeps hitting you in the face and leaves their units out there, and then you can just coordinate and capture one of their units, slow them down, make them have to also attack into your unit. Pretty sick. Yeah, we've got the triple Sundari Peacekeeper. We got some Cobb Vanth here to bring out some of the 2 costs. Bounty Hunter's Quarry to get some of the 3 costs out. You'll notice we got the General's Blade, and nothing goes higher than this 6-cost Millennium Falcon. We got 2 Plo Koons, triple Ayla Sakura. I mean, they've been testing out. They must have decided that the ratio of 3 Ayla to 2 Plo Koon makes sense to them. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff here. The 2 clear the field and the 2 spare the target to have essentially 4 waylay effects, but you have 2 copies that are, it's cheaper, easier for you to play. Yeah, pretty cool stuff here. And here we go. Another surprising breakout. The blue Hero Boba Fett list. Top 8. Alex Friedman here. Well done. So cool. Literally, yeah, just everything has a keyword except the Battlefield Marine. Because, I mean, the Battlefield Marine. The green heroes love the 3/3s, you know? So you put them out there. It's, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm sure that there's some fun and interesting new paths of play that you have to figure out here, where you're playing certain units and then you know next turn you're taking the initiative and you're playing a unit first sometimes, maybe to give a specific other unit a +1 power, or, you know, the other way around sometimes. Pretty cool. The Nema Outpost Constables and the Bright Hopes being able to be 3 6s is pretty cool. The modded cohort of ambushing for 5 is cool. Ki-Adi just being gigantic is cool. Totally understand that. And the Ewing reinforcement. Yeah, of course. Bring the Ewing. And the Ewing reinforcement after deploying Boba is crazy, because on Boba Fett's other side, just passively gives all of your keyword units +1 power. So when you get to flip Boba Fett and then the next turn go into a Ewing that possibly even brings out a modded cohort that you know, stops something that could potentially finish off your Boba Fett, and then you just have some more units. You just have so many more units, and they all have +1 power. The Ryloth Militia up here is pretty cool, being able to be a 3/3 essentially. Yeah, pretty neat stuff. 2 more techs in the side, so this is really just a grinder. This blue hero deck really is trying to say, no, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep making it. Whew, so there you go. Wow, this is a long video. If you made it this far, 32 minutes, 33 minutes almost. Leave a comment that says 32 something, and I'll know you made it to the end. That's so crazy. Wow. These lists have been really fun. Let me know if you have a favorite list that was shown today. Anything that you're excited to maybe try out yourself. I know I'm excited to try out that Tarkintown Fennec Shan list. As you saw, I already kind of edited it a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited. I think that there's a lot of cool stuff to play, and I don't have anywhere near enough time to play all of it, unfortunately. But it's super cool. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time here, and I'll see you in the next video.